All right. Hey guys, what's going on? So in the video today, I just wanted to talk about the 3 new releases that Grant Stone put up yesterday for a pre-order on their website. These 3 makeups are just stunning, and I kind of wanted to give my thoughts on them as they came out because actually I visited Grant Stone recently at their warehouse in Baroda, Michigan, and I got the opportunity to actually see some of this stuff up close before they put them out for a pre-order. And I just have to say, like, Wyatt and the team, they're just a fantastic group of people. I loved every second I was there. It was really cool to get to meet the team and see the warehouse and see like how things go there. It was just a dream come true for a boot lover like myself. So anyways, I'm not getting paid to do this sort of thing. I can't afford to buy every single pair of boots that comes out, so I figure instead of that, why not just talk about them and get my thoughts out on each makeup as they come out, and hopefully still enjoy them from afar. You know what I mean? So I like to delve into this stuff. I feel like I have enough boots at this point to where I could kind of offer a perspective on these things that, just knowing what I know about leather now, I kind of have some perspectives that might be valuable to some of you guys. So anyways, this is the first makeup. This is stunning. This is the diesel boot in Sky Reverse Kudu. Now, when I saw these at the warehouse, Wyatt handed me them, and I immediately said, "Is this Waxy Commander?" Immediately what went through my head was, I thought that they were using the same exact leather as the China Blue Waxy Commander. Now, I actually had a pair of China Blue Waxy Commanders from Truman a couple years ago, and they were a stunning pair of boots, but they were just a little too big. They didn't fit me quite right. Like the Truman 79 last, I realized I need an 8.5 in, and so I had these in a 9, so I had to sell them off. It just was kind of a sloppier fit. So, but as you can see, it's a heavily waxed micro suede, very water resistant type of a leather. But as you can see, the color is nearly identical to the Sky Reverse Kudu. And actually, on a side note, Wyatt told me that Ben from Stitchdown, when he first heard about these, he told Wyatt that they should name this run Blue Do. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Ben is sort of a comedic genius in a lot of ways. He's got like that wit about him that's just hilarious, and I can really appreciate that. So anyways, yes, Blue Do. I will forever know this makeup as Blue Do, even though the official name is Sky Reverse Kudu. I think Blue Do is an amazing term to describe it. So I thought that this was Waxy Commander, but as you can see, it's not China Blue Waxy Commander, but what it is, and here's my theory about what's going on at Charles F. Stead, because both of these leathers come from Charles F. Stead. It's my belief that Stead uses the same pigments to dye this leather as they do the China Blue Waxy Commander. Now, the Waxy Commander is a cowhide, and the Sky Reverse Kudu, this is a kudu, so they're different types of hides. They have different characteristics. The cowhide is going to be a little bit heavier. The kudu is going to be a little bit more lightweight, a little bit more airy, might stretch a little bit more. But the thing about it is I think that they use the same exact like pigments to dye the leather. So basically the same cocktail of colors that go into the China Blue Waxy Commander would probably go into this leather as well. They both have that beautiful sky blue color, and the same goes for my Ramblers, my Squirrel Ramblers here. Squirrel Rambler is also that light sky blue color. Here's some from my buddy Adam Grimm at Bootfluenced. He has one of the coolest pairs. Look at that. Oh my god, that's so great. Anyways, so much character in the Rambler leathers. But yeah, I believe, and this is just my thoughts from owning several pairs of boots made out of Charles F. Stead leather, that this incorporates the same exact color pigment recipe that both the China Blue Waxy Commander and the Squirrel Rambler do. So yeah, but anyways, just a beautiful pair of boots. I love them. I'd love to have them. Yeah, this wild antelope leather is full of character, offering a soft touch and heavier weight. A perfect combination for any boot. Yes, I agree. And also, so the reason I thought this was a suede was actually because this is it's the reverse side of the Kudu. So typically people are used to seeing Kudu look more like these other two. So these other two are not the reverse side of the Kudu. So this diesel boot here in dark burgundy Kudu, you can see it up close. I'll get kind of up close here so you can see what I'm talking about. It's got a lot of surface character, whereas the Sky Reverse Kudu was more of it looks more like a micro suede. This actually, you can see the surface character, you can see the abrasions, you can see the scarring in it, which that's kind of what Kudu's really well known for. I mean, either side works. I think that Kudu, similar to the Storm Kudu that I have from Grant Stone and the Cloudburst Kudu that I have from Truman, kind of what's known about Kudu is all that scarring and abrasion that happens on the surface, that surface character, which I really love. So anyways, I'll give my thoughts on this here in a second. I just kind of wanted to talk about the Sky Reverse Kudu just a little bit more. So this particular makeup is built on the Grant Stone Micro Stud sole, pretty much the perfect sole for all intents and purposes. It's not a really toothy lug sole. It's got those just little micro rubber grippies at the bottom. It's the perfect middle of the road sole. It's neither extreme. It's kind of right in the middle. It's not the flat leather sole. It's also not the really toothy lug commando sole. It's perfect for just about any application you want to use it for. So instead, Kudu leather, Leo Last, my favorite, full grain leather, kip lining, and all the other good stuff. Yeah, and I love the nickel eyelets with this particular, stylistically. I think the nickel contrasts against the sky blue very nicely. And then look at the rawhide laces on there. Beautiful. And one thing I'll mention about the rawhide laces that Grant Stone uses is actually they're a lot like tighter grain than the rawhides from Guarded Goods. Wyatt told me that they get these rawhides from Kentucky, and I realized recently, like, using these rawhides, I mentioned a method of tying rawhides where you, instead of double knotting it to prevent it from coming untied, you just cinch it real tight. When you lace it up, you lace them up and you cinch them real tight right here at the knot, and they hold up very well after they break in. At first, they're a little slippery though, because they are such a tight grain, a little bit thicker of a lace. So you just kind of got to work with them a little bit more. But once you do, the end result is you'll have a lace that really holds itself in place and looks good for a very long time. So yeah, like I said, being that these are a denser grain than the Guarded Good ones, that you got to work with them just a little bit more to break them in. But once they do, yeah, they're phenomenal. So anyways, let's move on to the next one. Next, we have the Diesel Boot in dark burgundy Kudu. Now, remember the color scheme, the color recipe that I talked about on the Sky Reverse Kudu. Well, I have a theory about this particular dark burgundy Kudu. These remind me of my black burgundy Ramblers from Stead, made by Truman. And here they are. Okay, so let me get a good example going here. Okay, so what you see here is the black burgundy Rambler. You've got notes, you've got tones of like dark burgundy purple wine, almost like a Cabernet or Merlot type of a thing. And then in other areas you've got black. So it's basically a combination of burgundy, purple, black pigments all throughout this hide, and you could see the character here. It's wonderful how it shows its variation throughout. It's not just a smooth appearance. Well, let's look at this now. I think a lot of the same stuff is going on with this makeup. So again, it's Kudu, it's not Rambler. So this is a Kudu, not a cow. And you can see a lot of the same color tones happening here. It's got, I'm sure in direct sunlight, it's going to have a lot of purple coming out, a lot of burgundy notes, and then yeah, you can see the black, little touches of black throughout. So it's got that really cool variation throughout it. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. What's really cool about this makeup is that this particular one, they didn't use the micro stud. They actually used their Grant Stone lug commando sole, which I hiked around in Alaska all last week in my new brass boots in Maduro shell cordovan with this sole. This sole is such a grippy sole my God, it really, I didn't slip once on the trails. You won't slip in those on a hike. This is a perfect boot for hiking, and it looks just so stunning. This would be like such a great adventure boot. I would love to have these and just, go on endless hikes through the jungle in those. So let's see, what do we got? We got Goodyear Welt, Leo Last, Stead Kudu, full grain Kip lining, lug rubber sole. Yeah, and like I said, I love that lug. I'm really impressed by Grant Stone's new lug rubber sole. They did a really good job on that. And then, yeah, good job aesthetically, stylistically with the hardware pairing here. The brass eyelets, the antique brass eyelets. Very, very sharp. All right, and last and certainly not least, in fact, if I had to pick one, this would probably be the one. I'd probably go with the brass boot in Dark Burgundy Kudu, number 1. Number 2 would be this Sky Reverse Kudu. Number 3 would be the Dark Burgundy Diesel. But yeah, I like the Dark Burgundy brass boot. I think that's a stunning... Oh, look at that. Now, the only reason I'm not jumping on this is, I have so many boots. My boot closet is overflowing at the moment. And so that's one excuse. My second excuse is I have the Alden Innsbruck Indy, which is, it's a mock toe, it's brown chrome excel, it's commando sole. It's very similar aesthetically. It kind of checks some of the boxes. So for that reason, I don't think, at least at this point, that I'm going to jump on these, but I still might. That said, this would be the perfect rugged version of the Innsbruck Indy boot, because again, this just has a lot more potential, I think, as an adventurer's type boot, mainly because you have, the difference between the Indy and this brass boot is that the brass boot has raised walls up in the vamp, and so this makes it more of a traditional mock toe work boot, whereas the Indy isn't so much a real mock toe, I don't think. The Indy's mock toe is just aesthetic. The mock is just stitched into the vamp. It's not actually shaped into a mock toe, if that makes sense, whereas the brass boot's actually shaped into a mock toe. When you think like the Red Wing mock toes that Red Wing does or that Thorogood does, traditionally they have these raised walls here at the front of the vamp, and yeah, this is going to be a hand stitched mock as well. As you can see, you've got this centerpiece that protrudes, so it's not a superficial mock. They actually get the leather raised here on the mock, and so that it protrudes and it gives it that added aesthetic. So these are more of a traditional mock toe, I would say, whereas the Indy's just sort of a faux mock toe, if that makes sense. And this is just stylistically, this doesn't actually impact like the wear of the leather. It more impacts the way that the silhouette of the boot, the overall silhouette. So anyways, yeah, I love their choice of the antique brass here. And then yeah, obviously that lug commando sole. I am just so impressed by their lug commando sole. It is phenomenal. And then yeah, you can see more of that. You can see it really good in this shot. The contrast between black burgundy Kudu here, the black burgundy. So yeah, you can see like the purples and the blacks in this pair, and then you contrast that against this. You can see it really good. You can really see the Kudu character coming through on this. You can see the almost the wrinkles, or not the wrinkles, but the grain of the leather here, and then you can see the black striping here, like the scratches and the scarring and the abrasions. You can get a sense, like, what's really cool about Kudu is it's got these little dots all throughout too. So it's got the scratches, it's got the little dots. I mean, these were wild animals, so, but yeah, you can see a lot of the same pigments also between the black burgundy Rambler and the dark burgundy Kudu. Let's look a little bit more of these. So yeah, again, very impressed by these new makeups. I would love to have all three, but again, my boot collection is very extensive right now, so I can't really justify it. But again, if I were to get one, it would be this brass boot and dark burgundy Kudu. Very, very nice. Let's see, is there anything? Yeah, and oh, that Floyd last too. So the brass boot's built on a different last than the Diesel or the Edward. They use the Floyd last, and the Floyd last is an incredible new last named after Wyatt's grandfather, Floyd Gilmore, and It's such a great last. In fact, I thought the Leo was like one of my favorite lasts, but it turns out the Floyd might be my newer favorite. Time will tell. It's just got a little bit more room in the toes, which I always appreciate. And then because I have like wide feet with like a large instep, so right here for me, if I size too small, right here it really crushes my instep and it hurts. So this is like the perfect fit for my wide forefoot. And then back here it just tapers a little bit more than the Leo, gives you a little bit more of a pinch, not a pinch, but it like I actually can't tell when I'm wearing them, but there is a little bit more of a taper on the Floyd in the heel, which I also appreciate, which is also good if you're hiking long term. You know, it'll sort of conform to your heel just a little bit better if you're hiking in these. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. What do you think about this new style of video? I'm actually enjoying it. It allows me to get videos out quicker. Part of my problem is I work too much on the editing, and so what I do is I'll spend like a super long amount of time on editing and getting everything perfect, and this style of video actually allows me to streamline things a little bit quicker. So I hope you guys like this style of video. I'm finding it a little bit easier to make myself. So it's not to say I'm only going to make this type of video moving forward, but I feel like this style, this method is pretty efficient. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. What do you think about these 3 gorgeous new makeups? And please chime in if you're gonna get any of these. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Once you do get them, I'd love to hear what you think about them. So anyways, let's keep the discussion rolling, and let me know what you think. And anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will see y'all in my next video.